Hello and welcome to the Indiana State Police Public Information Program. I'm your host today, Senior Trooper Dave Burston, Public Information Officer for the Indianapolis State Police Post. On this month's program, we actually are doing two programs in one, and our guests for the first half of the program are from the Marine Corps. We have First Sergeant Robin White. Robin, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And you're going to tell us everything about Toys for Tots, aren't you?
Go to try, yes.
Okay. And also we have Cliff Brooks, who is the chairman, the screening chairman for the Indiana State Police Cops for Kids State Police Alliance program. Cliff, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dave.
I think we should probably let our viewers know that this is, of course, the month of November. People are starting to get into the Christmas spirit. And I think we all know that there are a lot of disadvantaged children out there that maybe won't have the kind of Christmas their parents would like them to have. And the two programs we're going to be talking about with you today, the Marine Corps' Toys for Tots and the State Police Alliance Cops for Kids, can help brighten up some children's holidays. Cliff, I'd like to start with the State Police Alliance Cops for Kids program. Can you tell us a little bit about it, how long it has been in existence?
Cops for Kids has been in existence for approximately 5 years. It was kind of a brainchild of our executive director, Jay Romack. As he would say, they were sitting down at lunch one day, and he just kind of came up with a brainstorm that, well, hey, let's form an organization to help the kids here in Indiana, especially with today's youth, how the troubles they have growing up today with drugs, gangs, things like that. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard for the kids today. But they say, well, let's form something and try and give something back to the kids in Indiana that would help them out financially. You know, if it's a basketball team that may need uniforms, help them play basketball, things like that.
So Cops for Kids does things for children year-round, not just during Christmas.
That's correct, yes.
Now, aside from basketball uniforms and things of that nature, what are some other types of programs that Cops for Kids helps fund?
We help fund, say for instance, Boy Scout groups, Girl Scout groups that may need equipment for their camping equipment, uniforms for that. We help out, like I said, the Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program at Christmas time, giving toys to needy kids. We do help clothe some kids at Christmas time also.
So just kind of a wide variety of things. Now, when an organization, and let's use the Marine Corps for example, and I want to talk a little bit about how Toys for Tots got started, but when did the Marine Corps first find out about the Cops for Kids and realizing that as a source for funds for your program?
In my billet here, I've been here, this will be my second year as the regional coordinator for Toys for Tots, and I was contacted when the initial supporting from the Cops for Kids Alliance actually took place. I couldn't give you that date.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm probably, if I go back and look through my records, I could find when initially
We're not
started
going to make you
us.
do that.
But I just know that for the last 4 or 5 years that I am aware of for sure that the State Police Alliance and their supporting Cops for Kids have volunteered monetary donations, a very significant amount to the Toys for Tots program. And there are only guidelines because, like I said, I am regional here for Indianapolis mm-hmm. and the surrounding area. Their only guidelines was to ensure that it gets disseminated to the various reserve centers throughout the state of Indiana.
Throughout the entire state.
To try to spread it because it is a state police program, and they just want to make sure that everybody reaps the benefits of the donation.
Sure, and that makes sense. And I think we've probably jumped ahead a little bit, and I'd like you to give a little more background about Toys for Tots, because I'm sure that some of our viewers sitting here watching this today are thinking, what's the United States Marine Corps doing here, and what kind of involvement do they have in this program? And we hear the commercial for Sears, the softer side of Sears, and now we get to see a softer side of the Marine Corps. So tell us the history about Toys for Tots.
Well, the first reason why I'm here is because you ordered me here today. And, being a good Marine, I follow orders, especially when it's from the local law enforcement agency. No, but initially the Marine Corps Toys for Tots program is a Marine Corps Reserve started out. Going back as far as 1947, a reserve lieutenant colonel and his family decided they wanted to try to do something to help out the local neighborhood kids. And so they initially started small scale, making some toys or purchasing toys, local vendors, that type of thing, and trying to help out that way. Well, it just continued to roll and grow into depth, and in 1972 it became a nationwide program.
I see.
And the Marine Corps, the active duty Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps, then gave the name of the Marine Corps to the program. And it is strictly an all volunteer program. From the active duty side, myself and where I'm working at the Reserve Center, the active duty members that work there, we work hand in hand with the reserves, the active drilling reserves, and we have other reserve former Marines, retired active Marines that participate. We work hand in hand with them and try to establish within the community a viable program. One of my collateral duties here is, has been designated as the Toys for Tots coordinator by my commanding officer, Captain Bernard Meyer. We are allowed by the Marine Corps to offer limited assets, like we can use our vehicles and different things to help distribute toys and pick up toys and so forth. But we're given specific guidelines as it can't interfere with our primary mission, and that's where we need a lot of volunteer support from. For instance, like when we have 500 to 600 drop-off points around the city for the collection of toys and the different organizations that volunteer to help out and try to raise toys or monies, we just don't have the availability assets, either vehicle or personnel, to monitor and pick up and drop off all these.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. If somebody wants to volunteer to help the Marine Corps in the Toys for Tots program, is there some place they can get a hold of you, or a phone number they can call?
That is correct. Last year we had approximately 120 different sponsors, from private individuals who just wrote, private monetary donations to large-scale corporate sponsors. If they're interested in supporting this program, all they need to do is contact myself. The number is downtown Indianapolis is 923-1584.
Okay, and we're going to put that up on the screen for our viewers, and that is in Indianapolis. So if you're seeing this program outside of Indianapolis, remember to dial the 317. We'll put that up on the screen. So aside from the monetary donations, you also need people with cars and people that are going to give the gift of time besides the gift of money.
That is correct. And I want to iterate that point. Indianapolis area and surrounding area, the people have been really generous in donating toys and monetary to purchase more toys. But that is really, we need large-scale assistance in that. Because when you receive, like last year, we had over 35,000 toys. And when you have to go through and sort these toys by age and gender, you're talking a lot of man hours.
There's a little bit of work to do there.
Exactly. And then in doing that, what we had is we had over 54 community agencies that we supported last year, from smaller Head Start programs from surrounding areas, the welfare agencies. We had the community centers downtown Indianapolis, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and like they'll basically give us a request and say, we have 300 kids that we request toys for, and they'll break it down in ages and gender for us. And then we'll go through, our little... And
pick out the appropriate toy.
Pick up the toy and say, okay, this is for a girl, say age 6 to 8, and, fill however many they need. And that's where we need help at. We have been fortunate in the past years. Fletcher Park at the airport expressway area have donated a warehouse to us as their sponsorship. Yeah. And it's a heated warehouse, and it's, we'll offer anybody, senior citizens groups, church groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, any private organizations. You get 4 or 5 people want to come down and spend 2 or 3 hours help sorting toys to assist us. Come on down to the warehouse, have coffee, donuts, or pizza.
The
or
Marine
whatever.
Corps will take good care of them. Right?
Well, yeah, we can use all the help we can get. Yes.
Now, when we look at the things involved with that, the primary thing that Toys for Tots does is during the Christmas season. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm sorry, I should back up. Our main drive is from the 15th of November through the 15th of December. And then the week or so after the 15th of December, we try to ensure that all the toys have been, all the orders and requests for toys have been filled, and that we've got them to the agencies that are requesting them.
So a good thing for the people watching the program today. A lot of people think about Christmas and they're thinking about donating stuff usually the week before Christmas, but the time to make the donations really is the month of November, because even though you take it from November 15th to December 15th, I'm sure it's getting up to crunch time when you're just 7 days before Christmas.
You're exactly right. Yes, it does get kind of hectic in a madhouse scenario there.
Well, I want to ask you to tell us a little bit about, does anybody that volunteers, do they get one of these bumper stickers?
Oh yes, we have several award type things. We have certificates that are presented to them. One thing I want to tell you about that, that's just a bumper sticker, and we have other postcard type scenario type material that the National Foundation Toys for Tots, which is located in Quantico, Virginia, they send us yearly. The logo, the train, was originally designed by Walt Disney himself. When the program went national back in the 70s, Walt Disney himself jumped on board, and they designed the logo, the train, with the Toys for Tots.
That's a neat little bit of history there. So Walt Disney himself actually came up with that design.
That's correct, yes. So it's kind of unique.
So volunteers that come and give their time, or even financial volunteers, so they have something that from Walt Disney himself then.
There you go, yes.
So Cliff, I'd like to come back to you and talk a little bit more about the Cops for Kids. Unlike the Toys for Tots with the Marine Corps, which concentrates just during the Christmas season, you had mentioned before the year-round things that Cops for Kids is doing. Where does Cops for Kids get its money?
Cops for Kids gets its money from donations from all over the state. As the donations come in, it comes into a screening committee, looks at applications that come in, and they decide how the money is distributed and who the money goes to and how much.
So in essence, Cops for Kids is kind of a clearinghouse where a multitude of different organizations donate to Cops for Kids, and then Cops for Kids sends out money to different sources.
Correct. It's Cops for Kids is a not-for-profit organization, so all the money that comes in goes back out.
So some examples of things that Cops for Kids has funded that you mentioned before, of course, Toys for Tots from the Marine Corps, Boy Scout organizations, Girl Scouts.
Community centers here in Indianapolis, South Bend, Evansville. We try and hit every part of the state so that nobody is neglected, and everybody knows that Cops for Kids is all around Indiana.
So primarily where the Marine Corps needs both the financial assistance and also people assistance, primarily Cops for Kids is looking for the actual dollar donation to be able to send those funds out.
That's correct, yes.
Now, if somebody wanted to make a donation to Cops for Kids, is there a phone number for them to call?
Yes, they could call 1-800-437-3588. Okay. Or if they would like an application for Cops for Kids, if they have a needy organization for kids that need some funds and would like to apply for funds, they could also call that number and have an application sent to them. Yes.
Okay, and for people that didn't get a chance to write that down, we're going to show that on the screen again. It's probably up right now, so they can call in either to donate or to request for assistance. Give me an idea of the process that happens, because there's probably somebody out there listening that says, oh, my scout group could benefit from this. We have needy children. What is the process involved?
Okay, first of all, if they fill out an application, on the application we want them to be as explicit as possible so we know exactly what the money is going to be used for. Myself and some other members of the Indiana State Police Alliance go over the applications. We look to see what the money is going to be used for. We look to see if they've tried to get funds from other organizations, how needy they are, other funds, when the funds are needed. And after we go over the application, they put how much money they want, and then we determine how much money to give them, and then we'll notify them how the funds were allocated to them. What's
the smallest request you've ever had?
Smallest request, I probably $35.
$35?
Yes.
But I'm sure to those people it was very important.
Exactly.
Something that was needed.
The amount doesn't matter. We look at what the need of it is, what the need of the organization or the need of the individual is for that request.
What's the biggest one you've ever had?
The biggest one was $75,000, I think. That's the biggest one.
Who was that from?
That was from the Indiana Youth Historical Center.
The State Police Historical Center. Was that used for building that, or
That's what the request was for, was to help with the building of the museum. Yes.
Okay. And we've done a program on that before. So for people that have not had a chance to go to the State Police Museum, it's there at 21st and Post Road, and it's open to the public. So getting a little off the subject there, but if with a $75,000 donation, people should go there to take a look at it. We've spent a little bit of time talking about what Cops for Kids is going to be doing, and we've spent some time learning about Toys for Tots. Robin, I'm going to give you another chance here to make another plug for the Marine Corps on the Toys for Tots program, or anything that you feel that's important now that we're coming into the holiday season.
There is one issue that we get bombarded with telephone calls. We do not screen individual requests. So if there are people out there that need assistance, I encourage them to go through their local church organization, community center, whatever agency that they have in their neighborhood to come up with a list. We try to support everybody that requests toys. In every organization, we try to fill the requests as much as possible based on the amount of toys that come in.
Well, I think you've just made a key point that I'm glad you clarified it, that the Toys for Tots provides the toys to organizations and groups, not to individual people.
That's correct.
So I think that's a good thing for our listeners to be and viewers to be aware of. We appreciate you being a guest today, and the number of years that the Marine Corps has been involved with this, and we, speaking on behalf of the State Police and being an Alliance member myself, I'm sure that Cops for Kids is going to continue to fund that. And I'd like you to give that phone number one more time for people to call.
Okay, if you'd like to be a sponsor participant, the number is local here in Indianapolis is 923-1584. We do have centers in Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, and South Bend. Also, if you'd like to assist and you're from that area, you can contact them.
And again, that assistance, you're looking for assistance financially, and also people putting their time and driving around sorting the toys and things that you're talking about.
Exactly. I mean, that we couldn't ask for anything more. If we can get that, we're happy campers.
Okay, great. Cliff, any last thoughts as far as from your position of being chairman on the screening committee for Toys for Cops for Kids?
If there's any needy families that would like some, that knows of a needy family or needs some toys for Christmas, the Cops for Kids has donated toys to all the state police posts all around the state. So you can contact your local state police post and ask for the public information officer, and he can help you out in assisting with toys for Christmas.
As a matter of fact, I think we're getting ready to do that here at the Indianapolis Post.
Yes.
The date slips my mind, but I know that that's coming up for our post soon. So I'd like to thank you both. Robin, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And Cliff, give that phone number one more time, would you?
It's 1-800-437-3588.
I very much appreciate both of you taking time from your day. Please, these are two very worthwhile organizations that can use your assistance time-wise and money-wise. Help them out if you can. Please stay tuned. We're going to be back in just a minute with the second part of our show.
Hey, let's go get some beer. I got a fake ID.
What about those cops and shops?
What's that?
You know, it happened to Amy. They put an undercover police officer in a store to catch people with fake IDs.
Oh yeah, she lost her license for 6 months. Hey, let's catch a movie.
That's cool.
Local law enforcement agencies, in cooperation with the Indiana Liquor Store Association, are putting cops in shops to stop underage purchasing of alcohol.
Funded by the Governor's Council on Impaired and Dangerous Driving.
Welcome back to the second half of our program. Again, I'm your host, Senior Trooper Dave Burston, Public Information Officer for the Indianapolis Post. You just finished watching a public service announcement talking about Cops in Shops, which is a program being sponsored by the State Excise Police. And we have here with us as our second guest today, we have Sergeant Jeff Lane from the Indiana State Excise Police. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. We're going to be talking about the Cops in Shops program, but before we get into that, some people may not have a great awareness of the Indiana State Excise Police Department. So Give us a little bit of background on that, if you will.
That's the reason why we came up with the logo a couple of years ago, Law Enforcement's Best Kept Secret, because nobody knew who we were. Our powers are, we're fully empowered police officers, but our major job course function is the enforcement of the alcoholic beverage laws. We are the enforcement division for the Alcoholic Beverage Commission. And the Alcoholic Beverage Commission are the people who issue the alcoholic beverage permits.
So basically, you take care of all enforcement of alcohol violations throughout the state of Indiana.
Throughout the state.
Now, you haven't got a whole lot of people to do that, do you?
Right now, we've got 54 officers for the entire state.
50, so that's not even an officer, that's barely an officer every 2 counties.
That's right.
So you've got your work cut out for you.
That we do, and with all the complaints that we've got coming in, it's hard for us to get around all the places.
What kind of complaints do you get?
We get a lot of people calling in saying that they saw underage people in a package store or a restaurant consuming alcoholic beverages. We get people calling in on clubs that might be doing something wrong with their alcoholic beverages. We get complaints from a retail outlet complaining on another retail outlet that they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. So we get complaints from not only the industry, but the patrons and underage people.
Plus people within the industry themselves, it sounds like.
That's the best policing of the whole operation, is a package store owner will complain on another package store owner and keep everything straight. So.
Well, and that's good. Some people might view that as ratting them out, but in a business where there are specific laws and rules and regulations they have to follow, the idea is to keep it a level playing field for everybody and to make a fair profit.
That's right.
So, some people may be wondering, where's the tie-in in the Cops and Shops program that we're about to talk about as compared to the first half of our program, talking about needy children and families and helping people out over the holiday season. Well, unfortunately, the other part of the holiday season that goes hand in hand is we're coming into Thanksgiving, the Christmas, family gets together, people are going to be drinking alcoholic beverages. We hope that people will drink responsibly. We hope that nobody will drink and drive. Unfortunately, we know that some people will. The other part of our concern is that if you're under the age of 21, you shouldn't be drinking, period, unless it's part of a religious ceremony. So the Cops and Shops program is geared to try and get a handle on the underage drinkers that are coming in to buy.
Yeah, reduce the accessibility to the minors.
How does Cops and Shops program, how is that going to work?
We are actually putting police officers in retail outlets. They will be posing as either customers or the employees or clerks of the stores. We don't bother with the function of the work when the people who are actually employed there have a question is this person actually a minor? Is the ID that they're giving us, is it a good one? Then they turn to us and we'll take over the operation there.
So let's say that I'm a 17-year-old young man. In essence, what you're telling me, I could walk into the liquor store, maybe have no ID or have a fake ID, and when I bring up that 6-pack of beer, the person I may be looking at on the other side of the counter isn't really an employee, that's a police officer.
Could very well be.
And if I'm unable to present, let's say that I can't present identification, then does the officer leap across the table, police officer, you're under arrest, or what happens?
We do a basic check on them. Since we do have police equipment, radios, we are going to go out and run a check on them. If they are 21, we're going to let them go ahead and obtain their alcohol. But it's just to curb the alcoholic beverages to minors, and hopefully we're getting a message out that it's not even worth trying anymore. Because if they are presenting a fake ID, they can lose their license for up to a year.
Well, looking at fake identification, how serious of a problem is that?
Right now, especially around college campuses, it has become a very big problem. The kids are making money off of making fake IDs, Indiana driver's license, Texas driver's license. We had a ring that we busted about a year ago, and they were made with laser computers. Oh.
So they're actually making good forgeries.
Very good ones.
So, And you mentioned that for that kind of a violation, they're looking at losing their driver's license or driving privileges for up to a year.
For up to a year.
Aside from the fact that I believe, is that a infraction offense or a misdemeanor?
It's a misdemeanor offense.
Okay, so
They could end up going to jail over it.
could be some jail time. Realistically, probably a heavy dollar fine more than going to jail for the fake ID. So the Cops and Shops program, is this going to be an ongoing event or concentrating just over the holiday season?
It's an ongoing. We started in October. It's going to be funded for a year. It's a grant. The officers that are working it are on their off time, so they're not being...
So they're not being pulled from other duties.
Right.
So.
It's strictly voluntary basis. It's not only us, our agency, but other local law enforcement agencies are welcome to operate in this program. And we're also doing it in conjunction with the Indiana Retailers Association.
I'm sure that they have an interest too then in knowing that only proper age people are buying alcohol.
And the stores that we're in are participants, so we're not telling them that they have to be in the program. We invite them to be in the program, then in turn we put officers in their stores. So it's in cooperation with each other, so we're not going to bother the places we're in.
So basically the word that you'd probably like to put out to people in the state of Indiana, especially if they're under age 21, that for the next year, any liquor store that they go into to try and purchase alcohol, they may be, the customer next to them could be a police officer, the person across the counter that they're trying to buy the alcohol from could be a police officer, and it's not worth spending a night in the juvenile center over.
That's right. We're just wanting everybody to be aware of it.
Jeff, I appreciate you taking the time to be on the show and to tell us about the Cops and Shops program. And we enjoy the time that you have spent with us and hope that you found it worthwhile to learn about the Indiana State Police Alliance Cops for Kids, as well as the United States Marine Corps Toys for Tots, and what we've just learned from the State Excise Police about the Cops and Shops program. Please have a very safe holiday season. Take time to be involved in some of these events that we've talked about and in supporting law enforcement efforts to keep the drinking driver off the road. And remember, when you are driving, wear your seatbelt, buckle up. The life you save may be your own or that of somebody you love. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.